Hello world. This video is a test for my English. I know it's not perfect, but in the modern world it's necessary to prove whatever you have. So, can I explain a topic in English? And can a native English speaker understand me? Here we go. Source of the informations is the Wikipedia. Our topic is the Battle of the Monongahela, 9th of July 1755. It was a prelude of a bigger conflict, in Europe known as the 7 Years' War, between Prussia and Great Britain at the one side, and Austria and France at the other. In North America, the same conflict is known as the French and Indian War, because the British colonists fought against the French and their Native American allies. In summer 1755, the British tried to capture the French military compound Fort Duquesne in the Ohio River Valley, which was at this time a strategic important position. Leader of this campaign was General Edward Braddock, and yes, the same Braddock you may know from Assassin's Creed 3. Thank you, Haytham Kenway. The real Braddock was a career soldier from the European theater. He never seen before the wilderness of North America, and he don't know about the weapons and tactics of Indians or trappers. So his soldiers, redcoats, marched in classical, traditional European formation through the woods, and are less more than moving targets. Added to his regular troops were militias from Virginia, one of them a young colonel, George Washington. They were experienced hunters and snipers, and they knew much better the art of warfare in the woods. But Braddock and his officers forced them to fight like regular soldiers. The French, warned by their scouts, awaited the attack already, and at the river Monongahela, 9 or 10 miles from Fort Duquesne, the opponents met. The French has 891 men, the British 1,300. At first, the British advance guard under Lieutenant Colonel Thomas Gage saw contact with the enemy. It was not an ambush, but a surprise for both sides. But the French reaction was quicker. Despite the early death of their commander, Captain Beaujeu, who was killed in the first several minutes, and the flight of some of their men, the Indians swarmed out and enveloped the British from both sides and began to sniping into their formation. The French in the front, the rest of the French do the same. The British, surprised and nearly helpless, firing some volleys against an invisible enemy, and then retreat. At the same time, the British main force under Braddock advanced. They clashed into each other, and chaos breaks loose. It's remarkable that Braddock was not scared. He rode around and rallied his men to stand and fight again and again, but with no success. In their panic, even some British killed each other. Try to imagine this. You were surrounded. by a nearly unseen enemy who has nothing more to do than shooting bullets and arrows into your crowd and then shooting more. You and your comrades are dressed in shining red coats and forced to stand shoulder by shoulder and firing volleys for nothing. You're sitting ducks. After 3 hours of useless battle, Braddock was hit by a bullet into the lung, and this was the end. The surviving British escaped, with left behind their artillery, lots of hand weapons, their baggage, and secret papers. George Washington, despite he has no official position in the chain of command, formed a rearguard from the Virginian militias and saved the retreat. The results. The defenders reported 12 white and 27 Indians dead. The British lost 456 men dead and 421 wounded. 4 days after the battle, Braddock died by his wound. According to German Wikipedia, before dying, he apologized to George Washington and the Virginians. To be honest, it's hard to say what's thinking about the character of Edward Braddock. In lifetime he was a brutal bastard, and at this last campaign he made mistakes where hundreds of people dying for. But at least he shows bold. And in the last hour of his life, he searched for forgiveness. Can you condemn him? 3 years after this battle, the British finally captured Fort Duquesne and renamed it into Fort Pitt. In the 19th century, the former military compound evolved to a town, now known as Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. More than 20 years after the battle, George Washington becomes General Washington, commander of the Continental Army. And other locations like Lexington, Concord, Bunker Hill or Yorktown made history. So the 9th of July 1755 was just one step in a long way, and the complete French and Indian War, with all its damages, all its died, crippled and wounded people, was just like the first lightning of an approaching thunderstorm. For YouTube, I'm Klaus Geek. Thanks for watching.